Good evening and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Alderman Public Hearing. It is May 7th, 2026, and it is 5:48 p.m. Call this public hearing to order. We do have 4 items on the agenda. As we go through each item, anyone will have the opportunity to come forward and speak to the board on that topic. First item is Ordinance 2026-06, an ordinance to amend the City of Laverne zoning ordinance by changing the official zoning map for Tax Map 28, Parcel 2, and Parcel 1.01, property consisting of approximately 13.17 acres, property located on Sanford Road. Current zoning is Agricultural Zoning District. Proposed zoning is PDR, Planned Density Residential with a High Density Base Zoning District. At this point, the podium is open. If anyone would like to speak on this rezoning, now is the time. If you would, please state your name and address for the record.
Barbara Hale, 820 Cheney Woods Drive. This is my next door neighbor.
Hi, Courtney Smith, 822 Cheney Woods Drive.
I'm curious about what part of Sanford Road this property is on.
Well, the public forum is for the people to come and speak to us, but this is the agricultural area where Cheney and Sanford kind of, it's in between those two, that big wooded area.
So if you're going to build this high-density housing, is the entrance and exit going to be on Sanford Road?
There will be a road connecting both, yes.
So
and
there's
it will
nothing on this letter about Cheney Boulevard?
It's a single-family home development.
It says high density.
Yes, ma'am, because that's the base zoning.
So they're going to be single-family homes. How many homes are going to be in this?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Is there going to be any infrastructure improvements to handle all the
the city
cars coming and going?
And again, this is hard to go through with the public hearing because it's not really a discussion. But the city did retain the right for infrastructure improvements.
I'm just curious why they did not put Cheney Boulevard in this letter as a part of what they're planning to do.
That I don't know why.
Okay.
I have questions, I don't know if you can answer or not, about the construction portion of that. Obviously, this is in our backyard, and so things like blasting or construction do affect our structures. There's been some damage to my home from previous construction just in the nearby vicinity.
We wouldn't be able to speak to that. The board wouldn't, but our engineer can get with you either before we start the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting or after that meeting and discuss it with you.
Okay. Will there be, is there a chance for citizens to give input, or is it up to the board to approve this ordinance, basically? Do citizens get a voice in it kind of thing?
So the public hearing is for citizens to talk to the Board of Mayor and Alderman on this item. It went through Planning Commission and a previous public hearing as well. So this is where people can talk to us about it in support or opposing it. That sort of thing. But it's not like a dialogue part. So people can voice it. This is the second reading. So essentially this will determine if it gets approved or not.
I would say that as part of that neighborhood that will be affected, the woods are directly behind our house, that we would be opposed to it. There's already several homes in that area. Personally, and I've talked to my neighbor about it a lot, we hear gunshots from the Sanford neighborhood behind us. I've called Vergne City Police. It should be on record several times for that area. So more people. And there's another development down Cheney right there. So like she said, we are concerned about the traffic. Obviously, we have the schools right there that leads to traffic at certain parts of the day,
and overcrowding.
And overcrowding, yes. So just expressing those opinions of the neighborhood that is in that area. There's also a lot of wildlife there too. We see a lot of deer come out of that area. So, and my husband and I were actually involved in a wreck with a deer. If you go down Cheney and then go like you're going towards Lowe's. So again, a lot of displaced animals and wildlife that could cause other issues with the traffic in that area. So just to express our opinions on it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I think the letter should say it's on Cheney Boulevard, since it is.
Will there be
It's
another
misleading.
letter or communication? This is the first communication we've received about.
Not that I'm aware of, no, ma'am.
Okay.
Unless it's tied to construction, but I don't know that part.
There used to be, they would put a sign out on Cheney Boulevard where that property is if you wanted to say something about it, to call that number, and I did several times, and nobody answered, and there was no place to leave a message.
Okay. We can have the city administrator look into that.
So she's been a very long time first homeowner of
29
that neighborhood,
years.
and my family and I have lived here for about 10 years. So just to give a longevity aspect to it.
Thank you.
Hi, friends. I'm Sarah Andre. I live at 809 Cheney Woods Boulevard. I know you know me. I come. I would encourage the neighbors. We've had neighborhood community meetings. We've been following this project for over a year. There were signs. I understand, as I've talked to all y'all, I've came plenty of times. I don't want it rezoned either. But, like I talked last meeting, my options are here. The rezoning and the way that we're going to put the PRZ on it, it's going to keep townhomes and apartments out of that area. The owner, the land developer is sitting behind you. I've met with him many times. Him and his company have been awesome. They've taken all our phone calls. They've offered to come have a barbecue in the neighborhood. So I've dealt with the people in the corner of Cheney that are doing the construction right now, and they are not pleasant. They are out of Knoxville. I'm not even going to go into it. Y'all know how I feel about that right now. These developers are local, and they want to keep the homes very similar. And so I'm just going to, I wanted to come and express that if we're not paying attention to what's going on around our towns, we can't show up at the very end and expect to get any type of results. I appreciate this town because you do post all the time. If I see anything regarding Cheney, Laverne High, Old Nashville Boulevard, let's get it widened, I'm on it. So I do think y'all give fair notices. Was I shocked by the letter in the mail? Yes. I did not expect it. I didn't know the county or city did that, so I appreciate it. But I am on behalf of a lot of the neighbors who we feel like this is an opportunity that it's going to get rezoned at some point. We all know that. We live in Laverne. We live in Rutherford County. If it has grass and trees, it's going to probably end up not grass and trees. Hello. My house at some point was not zoned for residential. We don't want apartments and townhomes there. So please, 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 if we rezone this, keep the standards and the PRZ, PRD locked in. And like I said, I've been working with the landowner. They've promised to keep our wildlife safe. We have 2 red-tailed hawks that live in there. They're going to work and make sure they get relocated. We've been videotaping them. So from our standpoint on Cheney, it's the best of the worlds of what we can get right now. We do not want 4 apartment complexes like we're seeing down the road that are very close to Cheney Boulevard. I hope people are paying attention. They literally sit on Cheney Boulevard now. So I'm in favor of this. I think if we're going to rezone it, it needs to be rezoned very strictly to be single homes that are looked very similar to our neighborhood. And I've looked at the site plan, and I think, they're trying to put walking trails. They're trying to make it look very cohesive with what's already there. And that's our wish if this were to go forward. So thank you.
Again, the podium is open for this rezoning. If anyone would like to get up and speak, now is the time. Seeing no one, we're going to move on to item number 2, ordinance 2026-07, an ordinance to amend the City of Laverne zoning ordinance by changing the official zoning map for tax map 32, parcels 3, 3.03, 3.04, 3.05, and tax map parcels 36, 37, 41.01, 41.02. Property consists of approximately 101 acres. Property is located on and near Waldron Road and Blair Road. Current zoning is R1 low density. Proposed zoning is PDR R3, which is planned density residential with a high density base zoning district, and this is also known as the Twinning Stations development. Again, the podium is open if anyone would like to get up and speak to the board on this rezoning. And if you would, please provide your name and address.
Okay. My name is Pat Lee. I live at 754 Walden Road, and I've been in that same residence for 55 years. My question is any representative of the Rutherford County School Board here at this meeting? Do they know all this is going on? Because the schools cannot handle anything else. They have been overcrowded for years. And when you go high density, that's going to be apartments and condos and everything, right?
So again, this isn't meant to be a time of discussion, but it is mixed-use development. This is the Twinning Stations development. So as proposed, it is retail, residential. There's a 55-plus community, an assisted living facility, apartments, single-family home, and townhomes, all in this.
Okay, let me ask another question. Is this proposal right there at Mission Hill?
No,
Behind that? Okay, where is it off the Walden Road at?
Blair and Waldron.
Blair and Walden. I'm still can't. I know I live there, but I don't know it.
They're going to pull it up on the screen as well. But
I
this
know
is
where Blair and Walden. I'm just about 3 doors down the street, but I don't.
It's all of the area between Blair and Rock Springs Elementary.
So it's not behind that subdivision.
No, ma'am.
And where were the entrances to be on what street? Blair or it's going to be on Waldron and Blair?
Blair West and Waldron Road.
Whereabouts will it enter Waldron Road at?
There will be a red light, I believe, there's been discussion of snow drop, but we have not done the site plan on it yet.
Snowdrop, what do you say?
So come on the road.
I can't see, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
I got glasses, but they're magnifying.
It's
and
across
making
the
that
street
worse.
from the Arbor Ridge development.
Do what, honey?
Across the street from the new Arbor Ridge
Yeah,
development.
I know where that's at.
Yeah,
So it's
it would
across
be
the
on
street.
the opposite side where that open field is now.
And that's where.
There's no street there now. There's nothing there. It's just,
woods or bristles.
when you pass Blair Road,
Yeah, when you turn in off of Waldron onto Blair.
you don't turn on Blair, go up Waldron, cross Blair, and probably a football field, maybe a little farther on the right will be the entrance.
It's going to be on the right of Waldron Road.
Yes,
Okay.
and goes all the way down to Rock Springs.
Back in the woods.
Yeah, I know where. Very familiar with that area, but I thought it was behind that other subdivision.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Again, the podium is open, and if anyone wants to speak to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen about this rezoning, now is the time.
My name is Walter Bowen. I live at 723 Brushy Ridge Drive. I've been there for 27 years. And it bothers me that all of this construction is going on out Waldron Road, and we're being told that the Waldron Road is not going to be fixed until possibly 2030. Do we know if that's been changed? I know you're not supposed to be asking questions, but it concerns me that all of this construction is going on and all these people are getting on Waldron Road now, and you can't get out of Woodland Hills without sitting there waiting on all the traffic. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And so I feel like we need to start looking at all these things down the road instead of doing it after the fact.
Waldron Road will begin widening next year. I believe mid to late next year, Kyle, if I'm not mistaken.
We're actually hoping to have construction start late this year.
Late this year, it will
It'll
begin.
be about a 4.5 year time frame for full completion.
And so for 4.5 years, we're going to have all that traffic coming at us out of Woodland Hills, plus the project that's going on inside of Woodland Hills subdivision and on the backside too. And it's hard enough to get out of the subdivision right now, and now we're going to add the construction of the road. I'm proud that it's going to be done sooner, but it's going to be a nightmare getting in and out of there. So I oppose this.
Again, the podium is open if anyone would like to speak on this rezoning. Now is the time. Moving on to item number 3. Ordinance 2026-09, an ordinance to amend chapters 2, 4, 8, and 14 of the Laverne zoning ordinance regarding definitions, planning areas, parking and driveways, and administration and procedures. Again, the podium is open if anyone would like to speak on this. Now is the time. Seeing no one, we're going to move on to our last item for the public hearing, and that is going to be Resolution 2026-13, a resolution of the City of Laverne, Tennessee, establishing the Waldron Road Infrastructure Development District. Again, the podium is open if anyone would like to come and speak on this. Now is the time.
Hello, my name is Michelle Edwards, and I am a relatively new resident to Laverne, having moved here not quite 3 years ago. I'm the owner of property at 177 Blair Road, which is directly adjacent to the proposed district boundary. And I'm very nervous, I'm sorry, but I have put some thoughts together, and I hope I'm understanding all of this clearly. But I'm here tonight to object at the moment to the establishment of the Waldron Road Infrastructure Development District, and because I believe critical questions need to be answered, and if they have been answered, I'm not aware of it. But before I raise my concerns, I want to make sure I'm clear based on my understanding of what is being asked of the board. In plain terms, it seems the developers, Meritage Homes and MI Homes, are asking the City of Laverne to create a financing district that allows them to borrow money through tax-exempt municipal bonds and then recover that money by charging home buyers inside the district an annual assessment of up to $1,750 per year for 30 years. Is that accurate? Rather than funding the infrastructure themselves, they are asking to pass those costs on to future residents over 3 decades. The city bears no financial obligation itself, but it is being asked to lend its authority to make that bond financing possible, which is why this hearing is required and why the board's decision tonight, or if it's not tonight, soon, carries real weight and real consequences. With that in mind, I think that here's why I'm concerned. We all know that construction is already visible underway on portions of this project along Waldron Road, and I'm not here to suggest that the work being done, it doesn't have proper permits and that kind of thing. That very well I'm sure it's the case, I would assume. But the financing district being considered now is a separate and significant matter. So I am asking what permits have been issued for this project, including critically the ARAP permit issued by the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation before the board lends its authority to financing this project. Has that been issued? I ask that because my property and my neighbors along my area, our properties contain active underground springs, creeks, I have a mature pine tree canopy with nesting owls that run adjacent to the property where Mission Hills will be, and established wildlife habitats. The land right behind me has not been disturbed yet, but the development plans make very clear that it will be, with 337 homes and the associated infrastructure, roads, sewer lines, stormwater systems, and a new pump station immediately adjacent to my property line will directly affect the hydrology and drainage of my land, regardless of what happens inside the district boundary. So I'm asking if the permit, the ARAP permit, has been applied for? Has it been issued? Have any independent environmental studies assessed the impact of this construction on adjacent private landowners and their water resources? Because I have not been notified of any such study, and none has been made available that I'm aware of, at least for us to review here tonight. And another concern is I have some serious concerns about the placement of homes directly against my property boundary. Mayor Cole has always been very accessible and transparent with me, and I've really enjoyed living in Laverne, and I think you're a great mayor. And I just wanted to say that. But through candid conversations with the previous owner of my home after I moved in, I came to understand that the placement of the homes along my specific boundary line may not have been driven by sound planning principles, but perhaps out of spite towards the prior owner's objections to this development. And I raise this because I believe the board should know that my concerns have a credible basis, and I'm asking whether the site plan was reviewed for good faith compliance with land use principles and whether retaliatory placement of lots is permissible under Tennessee law. Other sections around the border of Mission Hills have buffers of green space, and they're literally right against the back of my property, which is odd. I would also ask the board to consider the credibility and track record of the builder seeking approval. I'm sure you're aware that News Channel 5 is currently conducting an active and ongoing investigation into Meritage Homes construction practices right here in Rutherford County. A local family reported that repeated leaks in their Meritage-built home led to dangerous mold levels, forced them out of their home, and cost them over $50,000 in repairs, costs that the builder did not cover. It's an ongoing investigation. So I'm just asking what independent construction oversight and quality accountability will be required as a condition of the district's approval for this plan and for the protection of future buyers inside the district and adjacent landowners like myself. Finally, I want the board to know that I purchased my home with no knowledge that any of this was planned. It's not your responsibility, but I didn't know about it. And I had no opportunity to make informed decisions about Mission Hills, which is fine. I mean, that's how things go sometimes. But for all of these reasons, construction already underway, I just would like to have a formal request here that the board defer a vote on the establishment of this district until an independent environmental review has been completed or open for us to review, made public, and how it affects landowners like me. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, the podium is open. If anyone would like to come up and speak, now is the time. Seeing no one else, we will close out the public hearing and move into our